All right, greetings and welcome to the Dr. J vlog series. It's Saturday, July 26, 2025, and on Saturdays we talk about sports and hopefully have a little bit of fun, add a little humor here and there. And so today I'm talking a little, well, the whole week we've been talking about honesty, and so that's been our theme. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. Um, it's going to be tough to do the cross-country dribbling mission that I've set for myself. So a couple of updates. One, I'm just showing you what I look like after a 1 hour dribbling session. So I dribble out on the streets and the roadways, and then there's some pathways I go down, etc. So a lot of folks are seeing me out there dribbling, occasionally honking at me and so on, usually because I've lost the ball and I'm running out in front of the traffic. No, actually that hasn't happened. Actually, that has happened twice so far, but I haven't actually been like the dog and just tore out in front of the traffic and gotten hit. Uh, so I'm trying to be a little bit cautious in that regard, trying to keep control of the dribble, etc. So this is what I look like after a 1 hour dribbling workout. And it's actually, that's not bad. I feel very good. In fact, it feels just like a warm up. It doesn't really feel like I've gone all that hard or I've done a serious workout. And then typically now I'm doing about 2 hour workouts on a more regular basis, not every day. And I've gone as much as 3 hours. And so I'm finding I can do the 1.5 to 2 hours as well, although that does start to get a bit tiring. And then the 3 hours is definitely a bit of a push. Anyway, suffice it to say, dribbling a marathon a day, which is the goal in 2 years, is not going to be easy. Just to give you a little bit of facts, tell you the truth, be honest with you. If I go even slowly at a very deliberate pace, which is about, say, 5 miles per hour, 8 kilometers per hour, that's pretty slow. So a typical walking speed for most people, a comfortable walking speed, is around 3 miles per hour or around 5 kilometers per hour. So yeah, you can comfortably do that and probably walk, I don't know, endlessly, as long as your legs will hold out, right? And you won't get too tired from that, at least in terms of your cardiovascular. Your legs themselves are going to get tired after walking for too long, but that's the story. So then to speed it up a little bit, you can go at a fast walk at about 4 miles per hour and a slow run, if you will, and a very slow run at that, and then maybe pick it up to about 5 miles an hour. And again, for me at least, that's very simple. It's very easy to do. And that's about 8 kilometers per hour. So if you go at that pace, then you can run about literally 5 miles in an hour. And so a marathon is 26 miles. That tells you it's going to take you a little over 5 hours to do a full marathon. So my point in sharing all this information with you is that while it's relatively easy to do, for me at least, at this point, to do 1 to 2 hours, and I've certainly done 3 hours on a few occasions, the idea of doing 5 hours in a day and then recovering and then doing it 5 hours the next day and so forth is definitely a bit intimidating. So again, I'm going to be completely honest. And at this point, I don't know if it's possible. And what I mean by that is that I don't know if the body, if I'm able to physically train and get up to that level of endurance and recovery to be able to do this. But I'm going to keep building up and working out, and we'll see what happens over time. Because as anybody knows, when you're working out, when you're, whatever it is that you're doing in sports or athleticism, you're going to have to, or athletics, you're going to have to keep working at things and building up your endurance and your stamina, et cetera, as well as the actual muscles themselves. And then also factor in recovery periods and then nutrition and rest and so on. So there's a lot to consider when you look at this from a sports science standpoint. At the same time, the other part of the equation then is the beliefs, the optimism, the whatever it is that drives people to do whatever it is they want to do with their lives, whatever they want to accomplish. And so for all the scientific aspects and the facts and the limitations that I can see the whole endeavor, there's also the much more difficult to measure unseen factor and forces and motivations that drive people to try to accomplish whatever it is they hope to accomplish in their lives. And that's what I'm hoping is going to underlie this pursuit, at least to some degree. I don't know for sure what's going to happen, and 2 years is a long way out, but this is where we are right now. Okay, so again, I'm just giving you a quick update in this regard. I did lose the ball for a second time in my, 3 months of training now. Bounced off of a funny piece in the sidewalk and went right out in front of a car. They honked at me, annoyed, and they hit the ball, and it shot down the roadway like a cannonball for about 100 yards. But anyway, nobody was hurt, no damage, everything was fine. But it just reminded me of how precarious this whole business is. And that's just the ball. I mean, I'm going to be dribbling out by the side of the highways, etc., on long stretches across Canada, and going to be facing the traffic at all times. That's for sure. That's one of the safety measures that I'm taking, precautions, and there's several others, but that's certainly one of them. And of course, wherever possible, I'm going to be dribbling and running on side roads and on well off the highways if possible. Depends on the the size, the width of the shoulders, et cetera, et cetera. So what are the options available? But there are going to be times when I'm obviously going to be on that highway or very close to the highway. So I'm going to have to be extra careful and vigilant at those times. Okay, so that's it. It's just a quick one today, quick update. And yeah, I hope you're doing well, and hope to see you tomorrow. And we'll start our new week and a fresh topic. And if you want to see what that is, tune in tomorrow. We'll see you then.